A couple of changes, and it looks like this for manager Jim Leyland. It'll be Curtis Granderson leading it off. He's at the top in center field. Placido Polanco batting second, playing second base. Carlos Guillen will hit third, and he's back at third base tonight. Maglio is in right field batting cleanup. Cabrera is at first base. Larish gets another start at the DH slot. Edgar Renteria against the West this season, having a field day at 375. Clee Thomas gets the start in left, and Pudge Rodriguez will bat ninth and do the catching. Jim Leyland caught up with him earlier before the ball game today. He talks about getting through this rough spot for his team. The offense starting to come around with some changes tonight.
Well, we're going to continue to fight through it with a positive approach. I'm looking forward to seeing Cleet play tonight. I think Carlos will be fine at third. I wanted to play Inge if I could because of Kenny Rogers pitching, but they also have 5 left-hand hitters in the lineup tonight, so it might not be as big a factor. But you just have to keep going. You can't give in to it or give up on it, and I think the club's starting to have a little fun. I think it's in the best spirits it's been in for a long time, and hopefully we can maybe come in here and win 2 out of 3.
Well, winning 2 out of 3 in Seattle certainly helped the ball club's spirits. They will try and at least do the same here in Oakland as Curtis Granderson leads it off for the Tigers. Granderson, Polanco, and Guillen facing the very talented, if not often injured, Rich Harden.
I think one of the key things that Jim said there was the fact that the ball club is in very good spirits and starting to have some fun, which is imperative once you get into summer baseball, because these days are long and you want to play some meaningful games in the month of October because they've got an outstanding ball club.
Granderson batting .254, has 6 home runs this year. He has knocked in 17, had a good series against the Seattle Mariners.
Human highlight film on both sides of the ball.
Harden's 0-2 pitch. Grounded foul. And Granderson's still alive. Well, when the Tigers get a run scored from Curtis Granderson, they are 11-3 this year. So that illustrates how important it is for him to get on base and for Jim Leyland's offense to click thereafter. That's lifted in the air toward right field, straight at Travis Buck, staring into the sunlight for the out. Let's check out the Bell Tire scouting report on Rich Harden.
Well, he's got outstanding stuff. Primarily fastball, changeup, also a splitter, and you really can't tell the difference between the changeup and the split-fingered fastball. He has spent some time on the DL this year, but he hasn't skipped a beat since coming off 4 starts, 2-0, earned run average a tad over 3, and when healthy. This is simply one of the best right-handed pitchers in all of baseball. Tigers have their work cut out for them tonight.
Here is Placido Polanco, who stands in with 1 out. Placido 5 hits on this road trip. Didn't have the best of series in Seattle, but was very steady defensively. And against the A's career, how about those numbers? .442.
Which means he's good for a couple of knocks tonight.
Harden misses inside and low. And the count is 1 ball, 1 strike on Polanco. Placido's hit a couple of home runs this year, not known for his power, but he can go deep. It's lifted back out of play. Tigers check in tonight, trying to build on that 2 out of 3 in Seattle with a record of 24-32. And the Athletics out west, 3.5 back behind Los Angeles. The Tigers are only 6 back coming into play tonight in the Central. Bouncer right back up the middle and out of the reach of Bobby Crosby. It's a 1-out single for Polanco.
Let's check out the Rico defense behind Harden in this ball game for the Oakland Athletics. You've got Ellis at second base. Very good second baseman. Probably 2 of your better defensive second basemen on display in this ball game tonight, with Polanco on the other side. Brown, Gonzalez, Buck in the outfield. Hanahan, Crosby, Ellis, Barton in the infield. Suzuki putting down the fingers tonight for Harden.
Here's the number 3 hitter, Carlos Guillen.
Carlos played a pretty nice game yesterday in left field, getting his first career start in left, and he will play out there some more this year. He was flawless and looked comfortable to me.
Well, I think more than anything else, it was uneventful, and that was a good thing. He played every fly ball the way it should have been played, and we were commenting about how he got good jumps on the ball off the bat, really had no trouble.
And he was in pretty good spirits before the ball game today. He was joking with me. He said, I was Ricky Henderson yesterday. I'm Chipper Jones today.
Well, whatever the skipper needs, he is happy to provide. One thing is for sure, though, they need his bat. And since being elevated to the 3 spot, I think he gives Jim Leyland some options in that 3-hole, setting up Ordonez. And you touched on this. He is going to see many more better pitches with this guy hitting behind him.
Now, Carlos can hit. Last 3 years in the Tigers uniform, he's been 300 or better and driving in a lot of runs from both sides of the plate. So hitting nothing new for him.
Gives that skipper a switch hitter in that number 3 spot. Polanco has a 1-out single just underway from Oakland tonight, the first of 3 between these two teams. Another toss back. Polanco is not what you would call a base stealer. He has 2 this year and hasn't been caught, but Harden making sure there's not a play on here.
And nor does Guillen hit and run a lot, or should I say Jim use him in that fashion. But Bob Guerin, the skipper, on the other side apparently thinking that possibly Polanco is on the move. Ooh.
Swing and a miss.
That's that wicked split-fingered fastball or changeup that Harden throws. You really can't tell which one it is. It acts like a changeup, and it also has slider bite to it. Slider bite every now and then, and it's a split-fingered fastball. Unbelievable pitch, and to throw it in a 2-1 count. A lot of confidence there.
That'll go foul down the first base line. And just again to remind you, this ballpark has more foul territory, I think, than any other ballpark in the American League.
That's why pitchers love pitching here.
It's got to be good for at least a couple of outs a game that you might not normally get on foul pop-ups. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Harden is one of those guys, as I pointed out when doing his pitching profile. He is one of the best in the game when healthy. A mid-90s fastball. We've talked about the split-fingered fastball / changeup that he features. If he's on, you just have to simply grind out at bats and hope the opposing pitcher has a pretty good day.
Good pickup by the catcher, Kurt Suzuki. 3-2.
And let's take a look at the grip here. That's the changeup. More than likely, Polanco will be on the move here. And Jim has displayed confidence in Carlos Guillen to put the ball in play in 3-2 counts in the past.
Little looper toward left field, sinking and caught by Emil Brown. Terrific play by the A's left fielder. That thing was diving toward the turf. Brown did the same and come up with a baseball for the second out of the inning.
Huge play. Huge play.
So Guillen has a base hit taken away.
I bet the Kansas City Royals wish they still had Emil Brown with some of the issues they have had. They simply didn't want to sign him, but Billy Beane didn't waste any time bringing Emil back to where he started his career as a minor league player.
Polanco had to retreat. Here is Maglio Ordonez. Mag's batting .329, and all of a sudden, if you look at the numbers, he is second in the American League in hitting, behind Hideki Matsui.
It's no fluke. He hit .363 last year.
1 ball and 1 strike on Ordonez. He's hit safely in his last 4. Maglio 9 home runs, also a team high for the Tigers. That'll go foul and back out of play.
Maglio's a very smart hitter. He will simply hit the ball the other way the majority of the time, and that's why his average has been so high lately. But you talked about the 9 home runs. That's because pitchers are trying to come inside a little bit more on him this year, and he's looked for some of those pitches, and when he has gotten them, he has hit the ball where the grass doesn't grow.
Fastball was elevated at 94, and Maglio was able to climb the ladder and at least get a piece of it.
You'll see that quite often here today from the catcher Suzuki. Once any of these Oakland Athletics pitchers have gotten ahead of Tigers hitters, he will simply ask for the elevated fastball.
Swing and a miss, and Ordonez goes down, and that's all for the Tigers. They get a 1-out single strand man. Here come the A's in the bottom of the first.
The Michigan Regional Council of Carpenters and Millwrights are dedicated to the future of our membership and our economy. Our commitment to the training of tomorrow's workforce begins at our 4-year apprenticeship schools. This extensive education ensures a steady flow of highly skilled men and women prepared for the challenge of building our homes, schools, and businesses. Together, our membership apply their skill and expertise to build the landmarks that define Detroit. The Michigan Regional Council of Carpenters and Millwrights, building a better economic future for Michigan today.
You know us for tires and auto service. Now we're giving you more. Auto glass repair and replacement service.
By certified Bell Tire installers.
Yep.
Guaranteed lowest out-the-door retail pricing.
Yep. The other guys can't top that. Nope. If you're looking for certified auto glass service, from minor chip repairs to complete windshield replacement, look to the company you trust for all your auto service needs. Call 1-800-NEW-GLASS today for a free estimate or to schedule an appointment. For auto glass and so much more, we'll make you happy you came in.
Bell Tire.
Hot and ready now. Hot, ready now. Ready now.
Little Caesar's large hot and ready pizza. At $5, you'll be dancing too.
Hot and ready now.
Pizza, pizza.
Scoreless ball game as we head to the bottom of the first inning. The Tigers and the Athletics. Bob Guerin, the manager of the A's in his second season. His lineup card looks like this. Former Tiger Jack Hanahan is leading off and playing third base these days for the Athletics. Bobby Crosby is the only Athletic to start every game this year. He's batting second, playing short. Cuss the DH. Their middle three is Brown, Ellis, and the prospect Gonzalez. Buck, Barton, and Suzuki are the bottom three. The Dodge scouting report is on Kenny Rogers.
Well, he'll need to command the strike zone. The A's come in leading the American League in walks, and whatever it is about Oakland, Kenny just absolutely loves it. He comes in 25-4, and really no arguments as far as his last start was concerned. He pitched 7 innings and did not give up an earned run. No decision for Kenny.
He's ready to go to work, and here come the Athletics now as Jack Hanahan leads it off. Hanahan batting .240. Up until last year was a member of the Tigers organization when the A's picked him up late in the season. That's pulled into right field, a base hit. And the Athletics have their first hit of the game, a leadoff single for Jack Hanahan.
And let's check out our Chrysler Jeep defense behind Kenny Rogers in this ball game. You've got Miguel Cabrera over at first base, just 1 error in the last 38 games at first base, so he's getting very comfortable over there. You've got Cleet Thomas in left, Granderson Ordonez in the outfield, Guillen Renteria on the left side, Polanco at second base, Rogers on the mound, and Pudge Rodriguez behind the plate.
Here's Bobby Crosby batting .258. He is fighting it a bit right now. He's 5 for his last 30 at bats.
Yeah, you really don't have to worry about Oakland running. They really don't have a lot of team speed, and that's really not their philosophy. And therefore, Kenny needs to get a ground ball and get a double play.
We'll shoot that one foul down the right field line.
One thing Kenny will do, even though this is not a running team, I'm talking about Oakland, when you get guys over there like Hanahan who does not run well, every now and then Kenny will catch some guys sleeping over there thinking that he won't throw over there, and he'll give him a real good move and pick him off, and he's been real good in that regard in his career.
92 pickoffs for Kenny Rogers. A little bit outside to Bobby Crosby. The numbers on Rogers here are just unbelievable when you look at him in this ballpark. Since 1995, he's 23-1 here. And his ERA is a shade over 3. I mean, those are numbers that I don't think you see with anybody else.
No, you really don't.
In any other ballpark.
This is a very pitcher-friendly ballpark. Very tough to hit the ball out of here. And the grass is not all that fast. This is a real good park to pitch in.
But it's not like the A's have had poor teams over the years. They've had some pretty good teams. That's going to be a fair ball down the right field line. It's going to be trouble. Ordonez will dig it out of the corner. Meanwhile, Hanahan coming to third. They're going to hold him there. Crosby has a double, and the Athletics have a very quick scoring chance.
A couple of real good at-bats by the number 1 and number 2 hitters in this ball game. And they know that Kenny's going to be around the plate. And because they do walk a lot, so he's going to come right after them. And this is just a terrific at-bat by Crosby, taking a fastball away from him and not trying to do a whole lot with it. As a matter of fact, I think that ball was probably 3 to 4 inches off the plate outside. So nice job of hitting by Crosby.
Single and a double for the Athletics. They're in business. Hanahan made it to third with ease. Crosby now has his 18th double of the year.
Yeah, that's good for second in the American League.
It's going to bring up Jack Cust, who has been their major source of power. 9 home runs this year for Cust.
He will swing and miss, too, which is exactly what Kenny needs here. He needs a strikeout.
Another left-handed batter in this Oakland A's lineup. They have been hit hard by injuries. Big wave and a miss. They don't have the big hurt. They don't have Mike Sweeney.
And both of those guys would be in the lineup tonight against Kenny. And that's why they have several left-handed batters going up against Rogers tonight. Cust has struck out 59 times this year. Did you know that Carlos Pena has struck out 71 times, Mario?
Really?
71 times for Pena.
It's only the beginning of June. There's a breaking ball that misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike on Cust.
But power and strikeouts go hand in hand. And this young man's got plenty of pop in his bat, Jack Cust.
2 on, nobody out. Single and a double for the Athletics. They try and score first in this one. This is an A's team that is toward the bottom of the league in offense. Their pitching has been very good. And the count rolls to 2-1. Right-handers hit Rogers pretty well this year to 331 clip. Lefty's not doing that bad either. Swing and a miss. Well, you're absolutely right. If he can get a strikeout here of Cust, that'll get him at least back into this inning.
That fastball had some late life to it.
2-2. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. So Cust is out via the strikeout. First of the game for Rogers, and it comes at a good portion of the game here early on.
Well, number 60 as far as the strikeouts are concerned. Very good changeup there. And a lot of times Kenny will not throw the changeup to the left-handed hitters. But in this case, he sped Cust's bat up with several fastballs before going through the off-speed pitch. It's a big out.
And it's going to bring up Emil Brown, who got off to a red-hot start this season, but in his last 21 games is batting under 200. Cuts and misses 0-1.
In the last couple of years, Brown spent wearing a Kansas City Royals uniform, and he was probably their best hitter, or their most consistent hitter of the last couple of years. And Oakland is where he started his professional career. Bob Guerin, second-year skipper here. And for Billy Beane, the general manager.
Guerin last year led the Athletics to a 76-86 record.
Don Wakamatsu, his bench coach, and Kurt Young, his pitching coach, standing next to him.
Rogers quickly ahead in the count now. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Emil Brown, who coming into this one was just 1 for his last 17 with runners in scoring position. And that's one of the areas that he really was dynamite in April and early May.
Let's see if Kenny wants to expand the strike zone here. Nothing too close. And really all Brown needs to do is hit a ground ball to drive in the first run of this game. So you have the count in your favor. 1 ball, 2 strikes. At least throw 1 out of the strike zone. Disguise it as a strike. And to see if Brown will swing and maybe get yourself the second strike out of this inning.
That's going to bounce in and hit the batter.
Oh, my goodness.
Brown is hit by the pitch on a 1-2 count. And it's going to load the bases.
Batting in the fifth position, second baseman, number 14,
Right on the left leg after hitting the ground.
You could tell that Brown was staying in there as long as he possibly could. He didn't have much of a stride there. And it was really concentrating on just putting the ball into play. Therefore, stood there too long and got hit.
So they're loaded. Still only one out. And here is Mark Ellis. Well, had that ball not hit Emil Brown, it probably would have gone to the backstop and scored a run. But as it stands, the bases are loaded. After Rogers got ahead, 1-2. Ball outside to Ellis, batting .245. An early jam here for Kenny Rogers. Ellis this year has knocked into 4 double plays. In the air to center field, right at Granderson. Hanahan tagging at third, and the throw is cut off. Cabrera might have had a play at third base had he fielded that ball cleanly.
He would have had a play at third base there. Crosby ran right in the face of Cabrera, who was set up getting the relay from Granderson. I don't know if Crosby thought there was going to be a play at home, therefore he was going to give himself up as an out. But he runs right in the face here of Cabrera. Look at him where he's at right now. If he fields that cleanly, they get that out at third base. Not real smart base running there by Crosby, but it works out for him.
Ellis gets an RBI, his 18th of the year, and Oakland has a 1-0 lead. First and third with 2 outs.
That's one thing about Cabrera, still learning that first base position. He is still learning where to be in cutoffs and what to do in certain situations, whether to let the ball go, whether to cut the ball. There's a lot that goes into being a good first baseman.
Carlos Gonzalez, the batter, 4 for 11 since his call-up from their AAA team in Sacramento. And he is considered their #1 prospect after coming over in the big deal for Dan Herron. And the A's, as they have done many times in recent years, loading up, dealing away a big-time pitcher. This past offseason, Herron was the man to go.
Well, they say that this young man here is a 5-tool player, and some people have already compared him to Carlos Beltran of the New York Mets, who was playing across the bay in San Francisco tonight.
That'll go foul down the left field line. Whistled right by Carlos Guillen.
I think that's where all the Bay Area fans are tonight. They're over watching the Giants and the New York Mets play.
Apparently so. Sparse gathering here tonight in Oakland. Plenty of good seats are available tonight. Really a nice night, though, for baseball here in the Bay Area. Of course, the Tigers have fans everywhere they travel.
And for tickets, call OaklandAthletics.com.
One and 2. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. So Gonzalez is carved up by Rogers. Minimal damage. They lead 2 and score 1.
Hang on to your loot. Sign up for Comcast Digital Voice for just $33 a month for 12 months. With unlimited local and long distance plus voicemail. Because the less money you pay, the more you get to keep for yourself. Just call 1-888-COMCAST. Comcast Digital Voice. It's Comcastic.
FSN presents the remarkable series that uncovers the most spectacular tales in sports history. Amazing sports stories. Incredible. Unbelievable. And 100% true. These are the greatest stories never told. It's an all-new episode, The Tale of the Ballplayer Who Lifted the Spirits of a Blind Boy, Sunday on FSN.
Thursday, Stonehenge. We know much about how it was built and when, but what we don't know has launched the largest archaeological investigation of modern times, uncovering what may be the lost city of Stonehenge's builders. With a grand avenue, ancient tools, and hundreds of prehistoric homes, there have always been theories, but never any answers. Maybe we just weren't looking in the right place. Stonehenge Decoded, Thursday on Nat Geo.
Top two, and the A's have a 1-0 lead. The Tigers giving up a run in the bottom of the first inning. Earlier today, Dontrell Willis was playing a little catch in anticipation of his start, which will happen here tomorrow night. He's back in his hometown, and he'll get the call for the Tigers tomorrow evening in Game 2. Meanwhile, here in Game 1, we go to the second with Miguel Cabrera leading it off against Rich Harden.
And Dontrell Willis obviously grew up here in the Bay Area, went to Encinal High School, same high school that produced Jimmy Rollins.
Really good player over in the National League with the Phillies.
I think Dontrell's going to do well here tomorrow.
You think so?
Pitcher-friendly ballpark, I really do. Getting around family, getting around friends. I think he's going to go out and pitch a really good game for the Tigers tomorrow.
Well, if he can avoid the base on balls, hopefully that'll be the case. Cabrera batting .279. He had a pretty good series against Seattle, 5 for 12, and of course he had the big hit yesterday, which expanded the Tigers' lead to 4, and they would end up needing the 2 runs that he knocked in. Seattle scored a couple in the bottom of the 9th inning.
J.J. Putz threw 2 fastballs right by Cabrera in that at-bat in the 9th. And then came back with that split-fingered fastball that he throws, and he rifled that ball down in the left field corner past diving Adrian Beltre of Seattle. So give Cabrera some credit for taking advantage of the pitch that pushed through.
Miguel now with 33 RBIs. It trails Maglio Ordonez. Mags has 37, but he's right there. And really, you can argue that Maglio has been much more consistent over the year than Cabrera has, but the RBI numbers are similar.
And Cabrera still trying to get comfortable in a Tigers uniform.
Waves and misses, struck him out, and Harden has his 2nd consecutive strikeout.
He has a legitimate strikeout pitch. Legitimate strikeout pitch. He has good arm action on his fastball, which is 92 to 95. And then when he throws that splitter or changeup, whichever it is, no one really here knows what it is. But other than Suzuki, the catcher, it's just tough to pick up.
Well,
and really tough to hit.
Nobody has doubted his talent. It's just his ability to stay healthy and stay in the rotation. He has made so many trips to the disabled list. In fact, 6 times in the DL over the last 4 years. And had they had this guy in their rotation consistently, who knows where his numbers would be at this point. Good pitch, a strike called on Larish.
I think we're going to start to see several Tigers, at least on the very first pitch, if it's a fastball, they're going to be swinging. And because apparently he's got his real good secondary pitches today.
Larish is 1 for 11 to start his big league career. His only hit, ironically enough, was an infield hit, considering he's a terrific power source. In fact, he was rated as the best power hitter in the Tigers minor league organization. And the numbers have backed that up. One and 2. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Boy, Harden looking sharp tonight. That's his 3rd strikeout.
Yeah, he brought his A game today. Yeah, there's some of those injuries that you have talked about, which has kept Harden on the disabled list quite often in an Oakland uniform.
Well, in the big leagues, in his brief time here in the big leagues, 34 and 18. That includes his 3 victories this year. Renteria batting .277 with 2 outs, nobody on. Harden has struck out 3 straight Tigers. side of the infield. Routine for the shortstop Crosby. And the Tigers go 1-2-3. We have played 1.5. Still 1-0 Oakland. For the second at McAfee Coliseum, the start of a 3-game series here between the Tigers and the Athletics. Travis Buck will lead it off against Kenny Rogers. 7, 8, 9 in the lineup for Bob Guerin's team. It'll be Buck, Barton, and Suzuki. Kenny drops in a strike, 0-1 on Travis Buck. Batting a buck 69 with 1 home run this year. Good numbers career though against the Tigers.
Ooh, I'll say so. 10 for 19.
And those numbers were put up in just 5 games last year against Detroit. They're going to get him here though. Cabrera tossing to the pitcher covering, 1 gone.
Hey fans, see the Tigers battle the White Sox June 10th through 12th. On Tuesday, June 10th, the first 10,000 fans receive a Vote Tigers OA t-shirt. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
That'll bring up Derek Barton with 1 away. Barton lines 1 to right field. Well, for a team that really hasn't been hitting the ball all that well, that is their 3rd hit already.
And also a team that has quite a few left-handers in its lineup in this ball game tonight against Kenny. And because there is no Frank Thomas, there is no Mike Sweeney, and therefore Bob Guerin playing the hand that he has been dealt here tonight. And they really have not done it all that well against left-handed pitching this year, coming in from a batting average standpoint.
No, just .237 against lefties. That is one area in which they have struggled. 8 and 11 as well against left-handed starting pitching. Suzuki showing bunt. 1 ball, no strikes on Kurt Suzuki, hitting .258. He is the catcher for the Athletics. Took over last year after they got rid of Kendall. He had served as his backup and then took over full time. One ball and 1 strike on Kurt Suzuki. He also had good numbers last year against the Tigers. 8 RBIs in 8 games against Detroit last season. Hit over 400. Talking about Kenny's pickoffs a little bit earlier. 92 career pickoffs, which is the most in Major League history. He had been tied with Langston for quite a while, and then he finally picked off Wilson Bettamy to the Yankees back on May 9th. Suzuki not a whole lot of power this year. 1 home run. He's knocked in 15.
You know, we were talking about that a couple of days ago. Not many power hitting catchers in the major leagues anymore. It used to be a position that was known for power.
There's a strike call. I think these days, if you can handle a pitching staff, that's one of the things that they look at primarily, and that seems to be tops on the list in what you expect out of your catchers. Two and 2 on Suzuki. Rogers gave up a run in the first on a sac fly to Mark Ellis. Could have been worse, though. They had the bases loaded. Fouled away. The Athletics started this season pretty well. In fact, they were 16 and 11 in the month of April, but the month of May they were 3 under the 500 mark, and the Angels took over first place by themselves. But for a while there, they were neck and neck with Los Angeles out in the West. Inside, almost hit it. 3 and 2 on the number 9 hitter, Kurt Suzuki.
We'll see what kind of confidence Bob Guerin has in allowing Barton to run from first base with Suzuki standing in the batter's box in a 3-2 count. You may see Kenny throw over one time just to see if Barton's trying to get too big a jump if he's running.
Lifted in the air, left side of the infield. To the grass goes Renteria.
Ooh, that ball drifted on him.
2 gone. Here's our Firestone leaderboard this evening. What do we have? We've got some information on Kenny Rogers. Most wins against any opponent? Well, of course, it's these Oakland Athletics. 21 career wins.
Kenny has had an outstanding career. Over 200 wins. And has really done it with command, a good control, smartness, changing speeds, getting lots of ground balls, and also fielding his position. He's had a nice career.
2 outs for the top of the order. Jack Hanahan, who's singled to start their first inning rally. And he eventually scored the game's only run to this point. When Hanahan joined the Athletics last year at the big league level, he really got back at his former organization. He was 4 for 10 against the Tigers with a home run.
Hanahan spent 6 years in the Tigers minor league system with really nowhere to go. And that's why you play hard all the time in the minor leagues, because someone's always watching. And there may not be an opportunity for you to play with your big league club, but if you open the eyes of enough scouts, then someone will make a deal for you, and you will get your opportunity to play in the big leagues, as Hanahan has gotten here in Oakland.
That's in the air toward left center field. Cleat Thomas under it to retire the side. So nothing doing for the Athletics. We've played 2 here in Oakland. 1-0 A's. Bell Tire, trust us, will make you happy you came in. That's a promise. Gorgeous afternoon here in the Bay Area. We're in Oakland tonight, where the Tigers are taking on the Athletics in the first of a 3-game series. Tigers started this trip in Anaheim, then to Seattle, and now here in Oakland. Leading it off is Cleat Thomas for the Tigers. He'll be followed by Pudge Rodriguez and then Curtis Granderson.
Oh, Harden's got his good stuff tonight. Oh, boy.
3 strikeouts already in this game. Thomas fouls it off. He could be tough to beat tonight. Rich Harden came in with pretty good numbers against the Tigers' career. He was 3-1 with a 3.7 ERA against Detroit. Out of Victoria, British Columbia. Swing and a miss, and he dusts Cleat Thomas with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. It's his 4th strikeout already.
Number 7, Rodriguez.
It'll bring up Pudge Rodriguez. .309 career against the Athletics. Pudge batting .251 this season. In the air toward right field, sailing away from Buck. Will he have room? Sliding play, but he can't get it. As he runs against the wall, almost got there.
Nice effort by Buck. I didn't think he had a chance to get there. And that wall comes up on you in a hurry, right off the tip of his glove. And the wall says, "Hello, darling."
Oh, slammed his knee awkwardly into that wall. Pudge has not had a very good road trip, just 1 for 18. And his average has dipped down to .251 because of that.
And Buck's got the surfer do haircut going, like he's from California and likes to surf.
The chopper hit to third. Nice high hop for Hanahan. And there are 2 gone, so Harden just continues to cruise along in this one. He gave up the single to Polanco back in the first inning, but nothing since.
That's why that play by Emil Brown in the first inning, taking away a base hit from Guillen, diving, and with Polanco running on a 3-2 pitch is huge right now.
Here's Here's Curtis Granderson. He flied to right field his first time up. Harden is 26 years old. It seems like he would be older than that, but because he's been on the DL so often, he hasn't had a whole lot of time in the big leagues. That's pulled on the ground to first base. It's going to be another easy inning for Rich Harden. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers. So we head to the bottom of the third. A nice look at the pier and a 1-0 Oakland lead.
Wallside has come up with our own economic stimulus package to save you money. Right now, buy new Wallside windows at up to 30% off, plus no interest for 4 years. This offer won't last. Energy efficient Wallside windows at up to 30% off, plus 4 years, no interest, no down payment required. Save on new windows, save on energy bills, and save your money. But you only have through Monday, June 9th. Call Wallside now. 1-800-521-7800.
Announcing the Jeep $299 gas guarantee.
Right now, when you buy or lease most Jeep vehicles, you'll pay just $2.99 a gallon for gas or diesel in each of the next 3 years for up to the first 12,000 miles per year.
Or get a generous cash allowance on Grand Cherokee and Commander.
And I get a lifetime powertrain warranty. Get the gas guarantee or up to $3,500 cash allowance on select models plus our lifetime powertrain warranty. Hurry to your Jeep dealer and let's refuel America.
I am your idea. Color me. Get me noticed. Make me shout. And stand out. Give me Rico color that always works. I am your idea. Make me brighter. Make me shine. I am your idea. Get me in there. Make it happen. In flying colors. It's you and me, and here we go. With Rico.
Step into the cage for Tigers baseball on FSN Detroit. Closing out their long West Coast road trip, Guillen and the Tigers can't head home without an all-out battle with Crosby and the A's. Tigers, Athletics. Series continues tomorrow on FSN Detroit.
Hey fans, join us tomorrow for the middle game of this series against the Athletics. Coverage begins at 9:30 with Tigers Live pregame presented by Carrabba's Italian Grill. That's Tigers and A's tomorrow night on FSN Detroit.
Meanwhile, tonight it is 1-0 Oakland as we go to the bottom of the third at McAfee Coliseum. It'll be Crosby, Cust, and Emil Brown to face the left-handed offerings of Kenny Rogers. That's down the left field line. Fair ball just inside the line. Extra bases. Thomas digs it up. Crosby goes to second and has his second double of this game. 19 doubles now.
He has gotten a couple of pitches above the belt buckle. His first time up, the ball was a hair outside. He whistled that one down into right field. And then this time, the ball is also elevated. First pitch swinging is Crosby. Gets out in front of this one and doubles down the left field line.
The 19 doubles tied for the most in the league now. David Murphy of Texas and Jose Guillen of Kansas City each had 19. Here's Cust, who came up with runners at second and third in the first inning, and Rogers struck him out. Tried to hold up, but it looked like he went. Or not. Eric Cooper down at third said that he held. Never mind.
Cust has got that classic uppercut swing. When he catches up with it, he can hit it a long, long way.
It'll go foul.
Almost picked down there by Ty Waller. First base coach here for Bob Guerin. Up, he got it back on his heels.
Oh, that's an error.
Yeah, you got to stay on the balls of your feet. He let that one play him. Ty's a good buddy of mine. Known him a long, long time. Great baseball man.
1 ball, 1 strike. You're talking about Cust's power. He had 26 home runs last year for the Athletics. But with it, as you mentioned, comes all of the strikeouts.
He walks a lot too. His on-base percentage is over 400, so you can live with that. If you're walking, he leads the American League in walks coming into this game. His on-base percentage is over 400. So if you're hitting the ball out of the park on occasion, you can live with the strikeouts.
Well, he struck out 164 times last year, but walked 105 times. And there you have it in terms of on-base percentage.
B.J. Upton having a very nice year for Tampa Rays, and so is Milton Bradley quietly. Guys are playing Oakland, Texas. We're starting to hear more about Tampa, but you just don't know a whole lot about what guys are doing unless you dive into the numbers, because some of those teams aren't getting national recognition.
That is for certain.
But Tampa will start to show up on some national games here shortly if they continue to play the way they're playing.
3-2 on Jack Cust. On the ground to the second baseman, Polanco. That'll advance the runner, and Crosby will move up 90 feet from home plate.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see Jim pull the infield in here, knowing what Harden is featuring today, knowing that he cannot give up a whole lot of runs. He may put some pressure here on Brown by pulling his infield in as he is doing.
He almost has to at this point.
Well, Harden just got good stuff. I mean, you fall behind too many today, and you may not come back in this game.
He has retired Harden, that is, 8 straight. The only hit he's given up was the Polanco single in the first. Broke his bat right back to the mound. Kenny has a plate. The plate now, he's got Crosby hung up. He's going to run him to third, apply the tag, throw down to second. Not in time, but a big play there for the Tigers.
Outstanding defensive pitcher. And that's one of the reasons why he has won multiple Gold Gloves. Multiple Gold Gloves. This ball hit right back at him. He doesn't glove it cleanly. But apparently Crosby was coming on contact. That was the play. And then Crosby stops, and then Kenny gets the job done by himself. Emil Brown takes off after this, and he flips the ball awkwardly down to second, but a nice job by Polanco getting in front of it like a catcher to block it so the ball didn't get into the outfield. Nice job by Kenny.
So on that exchange, the A's have a man at second with 2 outs. And it'll be up to Mark Ellis, who drove in the game's only run with a sacrifice fly back in the first inning.
They're going to walk him. Well, Jim Leland's playing this one like it's a playoff game.
Might as well with the way Harden's dealing tonight. And you've got the rookie Gonzalez waiting on deck, and Kenny carved him up back in the first inning.
And he's also batting left-handed.
So Ellis will get the intentional pass. That'll put runners at first and second. Rogers, when he throws to the plate in an intentional walk, lets it fly.
Well, he wants to make sure he's firm, and he wants to make sure that the ball doesn't get past the catcher. You know, you've seen some guys sometime where they just lob it, and then they'll lob the ball over the catcher's head.
Not Kenny, man. He just fires it in there.
Kenny is fundamentally sound, to say the least.
So here is Carlos Gonzalez. One of the 2 strikeouts that Rogers picked up in that first inning. Quick chat on the mound before anything else happens. Chuck Hernandez is out, the Tigers pitching coach. Look at Zach Minor out of the bullpen. That's what happens when you fire up a Red Bull. Meanwhile, Josie trying to keep warm.
Must be chilly down there. Look at the gloves he's got on, too. Are you kidding me? It's June 2nd in California.
Gonzalez takes low and outside 1-0. The question is, are they pinned to his jacket?
It must be chilly down there.
Looks like it is. Not a whole lot of wind, is there? Just a cool night. A little bit of a breeze.
They don't have a whole lot of shelter down there in that bullpen.
One ball, no strikes on Gonzalez. Swing and a miss. Boy, Rogers has just tantalized him tonight. This looks like a tough matchup for the youngster Gonzalez.
As long as he continues to locate that breaking ball where he located that last one, he can get him a strikeout to get himself out of this inning.
Another breaking ball grounded to second base. Polanco fires to second for the force to retire the side, so the intentional walk works. And we played 3, still 1-0.
So he has to be the number 1, right?
I would think overall. There's a strike called on Placido Polanco, who to this point has the only Tigers hit. Polanco, Guillen, and then Maglio here in the 4th inning. Harden has been outstanding. He has fanned 4 after 3 innings. Strike call. 0-2. Harden has not been behind in the count very often tonight.
It's 7 of 11, and first pitch strikes in this ball game for Harden.
One ball and 2 strikes. Polanco now 6 hits on the road trip. And he continues to hit Oakland pitching. We mentioned he was at .442 coming in against the A's career. That fastball misses way inside. 2-2. An emergency hack keeps Polanco alive. Rich Harden made his big league debut at the age of just 21 in the 03 season, the youngest A's pitcher to start a game since 1993 when Steve Karsay was 21 as well. Man, Polanco, who rarely strikes out, 1 gone.
And which gives you an idea of the stuff that Harden is featuring tonight. I was talking to Lloyd McClendon before the game today, and he said Harden is one of those guys that his stuff is so good. He's got the fastball in the mid-90s. He's touched 96, but that pitch right there is an unhittable pitch. And if he brings his A game, you guys have to grind out some at-bats and hope that your pitcher can keep them shut down and you can win a close ball game. You're not going to beat this guy up most nights when he's on like this.
Here's Carlos Guillen. 5 strikeouts for Harden. His season high is 9. He struck out 9 Boston Red Sox in his first start of the year.
He did that in Japan.
That was back on March the 26th, and they are racking them up already here tonight with 5. Carlos had a hit taken away, and maybe a big inning for the Tigers on that line drive to left field that Emil Brown came in and made a diving play on. Back in the first. Harden's 1-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. In the air, shallow center field for Carlos Gonzalez, and 2 gone. Ten in a row set down by the Athletics right-hander. See if Ordonez can get something going here with 2 outs. Maglio came into play tonight, 2nd in the American League in total bases with 111. So his numbers are starting to pile up now. Pops this one up though. Shallow right field for Mark Ellis. He's called off by Buck. And another 1-2-3 inning for Rich Harden. 11 straight retired. That would be Ryan Dempster. Boy, I wouldn't have guessed him. Great question tonight. Eric Bedard has 44. Rich Harden 34. Jeff Francis is in there.
I think Dempster's back in the rotation now in Chicago, isn't he?
I think he is.
Spending some time in their bullpen.
Yep.
When they got him from Florida.
I got to be honest, I didn't know he was from Canada. He is from Gibson's, British Columbia. There you go. There's your answer. Rogers back to the hill, and he delivers a strike to Mr. Travis Buck. Buck, Barton, and Suzuki 7, 8, 9. Kenny's had to pitch out of a couple of jams tonight. Gave up a run in the first. It's the only run of the game so far between these two teams.
The Oakland hitters a pretty good game plan coming in against Kenny. And knowing the success that Kenny has had in this ballpark, he's 25-4 here at McAfee Coliseum.
Buck grounded to the first baseman back in the second inning, 0 for 1.
Pretty surprising, though, that they come in leading the American League in walks with such a young team.
That is very surprising.
But I do know that's one of the things that they do preach in the other minor league system. They like to see guys walk. They like to see you work counts. They like to see you take pitches. And their guys aren't afraid to hit behind in counts.
Right back to the mound. Leaping play there by Rogers. One gone.
And we've talked about Kenny quite often. Once he delivers the ball toward home plate, he looks like a shortstop out there. On the balls of his feet, very athletic. And that's why balls don't get past him. And there are a lot of pitchers, whether they throw left-handed or right-handed, that fall off violently to the third base side or the first base side. Kenny's not one. And he is right there ready to field the ball.
Always in perfect balance as he was there. Here's Derek Barton.
Another thing that Kenny does in spring training when they start doing those PFPs, pitchers fielding practice, he is concentrating and working hard, not going through the motions.
That's how you win multiple Gold Gloves, and Rogers, even at his age, north of 40, fields his position as well as anybody in baseball. Anybody.
That beard that he's sporting today is telling us that he's north of 42.
Sprinkled with some gray.
Well, he's one of those guys that doesn't shave in between starts. He will shave after the game, and then he will allow that hair to grow until he takes the ball 5 days from now, and then he will follow the same pattern. But he has a little extra growth on the beard today because he was skipped in favor of Bonderman yesterday, getting the start here in Oakland. So he's almost got a full beard going now.
Derek Barton had a single back in the second. Barton is a guy that was glad to see May get out of town. He hit 139 in the month of May and came in 7 for his previous 62 at bats. This is an A's team that collectively was toward the bottom of the American League in batting average, and of course without Frank Thomas, who came over from Toronto and really put up some numbers immediately, and Mike Sweeney out of their lineup. A little handcuff right now. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Kenny throws the fastball by him for out number 2.
That's why you don't look for breaking balls with 2 strikes. Because if you're looking for a breaking ball and you get a fastball, this is the kind of swing you're going to take.
Suzuki.
Two outs. Here's Kurt Suzuki. The Athletics came in batting .252, and for all the struggles the Tigers have had, they're still batting .264, which is top 5 in the league.
Oakland pitches pretty well, and that's one of the reasons why they win some games. They got a real good pitching staff. And they even have some injuries to their bullpen right now, but their starters have been real good.
They've gone through a little bit of a rough stretch here over the last week or so, but beyond that, when you stack up their numbers against the rest of the American League, they are right there as a staff.
And Kurt Young, pitching coach here, and took over a few years ago when Rick Peterson left to go to the New York Mets.
There's a base hit to left field. 2-out single for the number 9 hitter, Kurt Suzuki. We're talking about the Athletics and where they rank. They are 3rd in the American League in team ERA, and that Blue Jays team, boy, their starting rotation really starting to gel now.
How about the White Sox? 3.36.
That's why they're in first place, because they're not hitting.
You wouldn't think it by the way their manager's acting these days.
Ozzie went off the other day, didn't
Oh, my goodness.
Ozzie being Ozzie, I suppose. 2 outs for Jack Hanahan. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Bouncing ball to the right side, right end to Mr. Cabrera for the out. Kenny Rogers has allowed just the 1 run through 4 tonight.
That's been disappearing on Tigers hitters. They cannot hit it. It is a plus pitch, and it's just dancing all over the strike zone. He's racked up 5 Ks in this ball game.
And the numbers on Harden so far are very impressive. 4 innings, only 53 pitches.
Hadn't walked anybody and getting ahead of most of the Tigers hitters. And several of the Tigers hitters have started to swing at the very first pitch because they want to stay away from that pitch right there.
Miguel Cabrera leads it off, and Jeff Larish and Edgar Renteria. Miguel struck out back in the second, one of the 5 racked up by Harden, who's retired 11 straight.
Harden's got the kind of stuff, partner, that when they put him up in the locker room before the game on TVs, so you can kind of watch what he's doing, you don't even want to watch it.
You just don't want to deal with it.
You don't even want to deal with it. You don't even want to watch it. He got that kind of stuff. You know, if he throws me one close enough, I'm going to take a good whack at it. Other than that, I don't want to watch this stuff.
3-0 on Cabrera. It's going to take, and it's a strike. I guess the question becomes, if Harden can prove that he can stay healthy, the Athletics are going to have to decide what to do with him. Larish waiting on deck.
They better keep him.
With all of the talent that has run through Oakland here in terms of pitching and all the talent that has been dealt away,
he may be the best one.
3-1 pitch. And there is ball 4. So Cabrera gets a walk. You know, these are some big names that the Athletics have lost over the years. I mean, look at some of these names that have gone elsewhere.
They've been great. Zito now in San Francisco, of course, won a Cy Young. Herron is in Arizona, now dealing. Mulder has not stayed healthy in St. Louis. And Tim Hudson's still winning ball games. But Billy Beane, their general manager, when he does send off one of his pitchers, he gets a lot of talent in return. They got some great scouts out there to the Oakland Athletics.
Well, the A's, in getting rid of Herron in the offseason, got a boatload of players, 3 of which are at the big league level right now.
Yeah, that is good scouting. And the Tigers need to get something going against Herron here. He's gotten a little wild. Harden.
Larish with a big swing.
What makes that pitch so effective is he gives you the same arm action from the same arm slot and arm speed as the fastball. In the fastball, 95, but that pitch is right around 85, 86.
Up and around the letters. Larish couldn't quite catch up with it. 1-2. Harden has been masterful tonight. The leadoff walk, though, here in the 5th inning, giving the Tigers their first base runner since the 1st inning when Polanco singled with 1 out. Larish, Rod, has been used exclusively as the designated hitter at this level. And when you come up for the first time in the big leagues, would you rather be able to play the field and get into the flow of the entire game as opposed to DHing every day?
Well, Larish would probably prefer to play the field, but obviously he's not going to play with Cabrera being the first baseman. So he's going to try to get as many at-bats and do the best job that he can. But, yeah, he would probably love to play some first base. And I think if he starts to hit, and he does hit, and he stays on this roster, I'm sure that he'll give Cabrera a day off and let Larish play a little first base every now and then.
Well, here's Renteria with 1 out. The strikeouts starting to add up now. 6 for Rich Harden.
He threw Larish a fastball at 98 miles an hour. 98.
was a 17th round pick.
Really?
17th round. You would think this is a first or second round selection, judging by what he has been able to do. When you get him in the 17th round, in fact, he was a draft and follow.
He must have been a late bloomer.
He was drafted in 2000, and they finally signed him after following him for the next year in May of 01. Wave and a miss. So the A's did a good job by not letting him get back in the draft and signing him right before the draft the very next year.
This has been some of the best stuff that I have seen this year from a left-hander or a right-hander, starter or reliever so far.
In the air to right field, straight to Travis Buck. And there are 2 gone now. Well, voting is open for the 2008 All-Star Game at Yankee Stadium. You can help send your favorite Tiger by voting up to 25 times at Tigers.com. Vote early, vote often, and vote for the 2008 All-Stars at Tigers.com.
And that is going to be a historic event. Yankee Stadium closing this year in their new, what is it, a $1 billion stadium going on?
Yeah, right across the street, actually. Jim Leland, we know, will be there, obviously. He was named to the staff of Terry Francona. So he's going to be there. But that new ballpark there is, I would imagine, going to be something else.
Cost enough.
And of course, the first thing they should make sure of is that the broadcasting booths are very comfortable.
Oh, you know, without question, they were going to be comfortable.
Everything else is secondary.
Because them booths they have right now with all the wires and stuff going through them.
Swing and a miss by Thomas. If I can make my recommendation, have a bathroom right outside of the booth. Have some food available as well. Maybe a little Barca lounger in the booth. We're all set.
Oh, it's going to be comfortable.
Here's the 1-2. 2-2 on Cleek Thomas, who fanned back in the 3rd. Good stop there by Suzuki. 3-2 now on Cleek Thomas. Harden has 1 walk to go with his 6 strikeouts. He walked Cabrera to start this inning. Tigers haven't had too many base runners. In fact, 2. That's it. Pudge waiting on deck. Runner will go on 3-2, and it is ball 4. So the Tigers get a couple of walks, and now all of a sudden the tying run is out there in scoring position.
Number 7, Ivan Rodriguez.
73 pitches here in the 5th inning for Harden. So maybe if they can continue to elevate that pitch count, get him out of the game, that might help. Pudge 0 for 1 with a ground out. Cabrera led off with a walk. He's at second base. Pudge batting with 2 on. Swing and a miss. Pudge right through the 93-mile-an-hour fastball. He grounded out 5-3 his first time up.
Well, Pudge can expect to get 1 or 2 more fastballs elevated if he continues to swing at it against Harden. Suzuki not afraid to call for the elevated pitch. Harden coming right after you, boy. Oh, goodness.
Two. Butch trying to keep it going here and get it to the top of the order. Curtis Granderson. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Pudge goes down. 7 strikeouts for Rich Harden, and the Tigers strand 2.
I never know when I've used up all my minutes.
Problem solved. Shot callers. Here, watch. See Troy right there? He's used up all of his minutes. All I got to do is give him a call.
Hello?
You've done their world. Now try ours. Get unlimited local and long-distance wireless for just $35 a month and never sign a contract. Metro PCS. Hello. The leader in unlimited.
Now get $40 off any Kia Sierra phone when you sign up for Metro PCS service.
Announcing the Dodge $2.99 gas guarantee.
Right now, when you buy or lease most Dodge vehicles, you'll pay just $2.99 a gallon for gas or diesel in each of the next 3 years for up to the first 12,000 miles per year.
Or get a generous cash allowance on Ram 1500.
And I get a lifetime powertrain warranty.
Get the gas guarantee or up to $5,500 cash allowance on select models plus our lifetime powertrain warranty. Hurry to your Dodge dealer and let's refuel America.
What your engine feels, you feel. And when it's running clean, you feel it. That's why Pennzoil Motor Oil is specially formulated to continuously help prevent dirt and deposits from forming. No leading conventional oil helps keep engines cleaner. So change with Pennzoil and feel the clean. Not just oil, Pennzoil. And now a 5-quart jug is only $10 for a limited time at Walmart.
Step into the cage for Tigers baseball on FSN Detroit. Closing out their long West Coast road trip, Ian and the Tigers can't head home without an all-out battle with Crosby and the A's. Tigers Athletics. Series continues tomorrow on FSN Detroit.
Tigers baseball on FSN Detroit is brought to you by Dodge. Live strong, live bold, live now. Dodge, grab life. And by Aflac. Ask about it at work. Nighttime settling in now here in Oakland as the Tigers are taking on the A's here in the opening game in this 3-game set, winding up the road trip. So far, it's been all Rich Harden. Tigers trail 1-0. Kenny Rogers has pitched well also, but Tigers offense has not been able to get it cranked up tonight. Bobby Crosby will lead it off, then Jack Cust and Emil Brown.
And Kenny may want to work at the bottom of the strike zone. Now this at-bat against Crosby, he has proven already tonight he can hit that elevated fastball.
It's a bullet right at the shortstop. Renteria stays with it, one gone. It'll bring up Jack Cust. Well, we talked about Rogers and how he really has looked a whole lot better in his last few starts. 7 shutout innings. And that 1-0 loss against the Angels, that game the Tigers lost in 12. They beat Seattle to start before that. He's had Cust tied up all night. Strikeout, ground out.
Really, the Tigers' entire staff the last couple of weeks have been pitching some real consistent baseball. And most definitely pitching well enough to win. And Bonderman yesterday pitched well enough to win. As a matter of fact, Bonderman has pitched a couple of real good games on this road trip. One in L.A. and one in Seattle. But really nothing to show for it as far as the win and loss is concerned on his resume.
Well, I guess the positive thing is the pitching rotation is starting to really round into form now. And Jim Leland was talking about that before the game. He feels that maybe one of the reasons that the staff got off to a slow start was that they babied him a little bit in spring training because some guys were coming off injuries, guys like Bonderman and Rogers. And that's going to go down the left field line, but foul. And maybe they didn't get enough innings that they needed to get in spring training. And I think that might be really a situation around all of baseball.
So does he feel like he should have pitched them more even though they were coming off injury?
Well, I don't know that he said that. I think that he just feels that that's one of the reasons why. Now they're finally getting into shape. 2 months in the season, they're getting a lot of innings behind them now where maybe they didn't come out of spring camp with enough work behind them. And we're starting to see some of the results, that's for sure. 0-2 on Cust. Emil Brown will bat next. Rogers had that first inning in which the bases were loaded, but he gave up just 1. A couple of runners in the third, no damage.
He's really matched Harden pitch for pitch. Of course, Harden is doing it with a lot more flair. with the strikeouts and the unbelievable split-fingered fastball slash changeup that he has. But Kenny has done his job tonight so far.
Rich Harden has struck out 7 Tigers so far this evening. Now the 2-2. Just a touch outside. 3-2 on Cust.
It's the second time Kenny's kind of dropped down to that sidearm angle and thrown a breaking ball to one of the left-handed hitters in this game.
We lost him. 1-out walk.
Upset with himself, too.
One on, one out here in the 5th inning. We're at McAfee Coliseum in Oakland, California for the start of this 3-game set between the Tigers and the Athletics. Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, glad you are with us here tonight. Brady Klima is our producer. Brian Moss directing our show this evening. Athletics got a run in the 1st inning on a sac fly by Mark Ellis, and that has been it for either team. Here's Emil Brown. That's the 2nd walk that Rogers has allowed. The other one, though, was intentional.
Emil Brown kind of stands in the batter's box with a very wide stance and very little movement with that front foot. And I guess that's his trigger mechanism, which kind of helps him stay back. All he does is picks up the heel and puts it back down. You don't see a lot of guys hitting like this in the major leagues. Most guys like to use that front foot as sort of their trigger, their stride.
And you have the exact opposite in a guy like Gary Sheffield, who picks that front leg up with a high leg kick.
Watch, he's just going to pick his heel up off the ground and then put it right back down. Which is a good strategy, especially if you've got some hand strength and some hand quickness, which he has both of. Take a look at the front foot here, just up and down, but he's already spread out into an area where once he fires from the backside, rotating that back foot, he can still generate some power.
I was going to say that seems to be the type of a stance that will not allow you to generate a lot of power, but he has hit some home runs. He's had 5 this year.
Strong.
Talk about the importance of, everybody talks about the legs and how important those are in hitting, but if you've got a strong pair of hands, and Willie Horton's a great example of that, you can hit for some power.
And you can look at Emil, and you can tell how strong he is from the elbows down. He's got nice forearms, strong wrists, strong hands. You don't really have to get in the weight room and do a whole lot of bench pressing and do a whole lot of curls to be a good hitter. Look good, though.
And which is more important? Ground ball hit to the shortstop. Renteria, Polanco on the relay, double play. Taylor-made, 6-4-3, and 5 innings in the books. Here in the Bay Area, 1-0.
Lucky break for you, bud. Bell Tire now offers convenient auto glass repair and replacement service. From minor chips and cracks to complete windshield replacement, our certified installers can handle all your auto glass needs, all at the guaranteed lowest out-the-door retail pricing. No extras ever. Call 1-800-NEW-GLASS to schedule an appointment today. Put down the bat, dude. For auto glass and so much more, trust us. We'll make you happy you came in.
Bell Tire. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Detroit Tigers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Detroit Tigers.
I'm a single mother of 2 kids. I work a lot. I come home tired. You do miss a lot. He dropped off for a whole month. Sometimes I would talk to him and he wouldn't even turn around and look at me. I would just get frustrated because in any way that I talk to him, it just doesn't go through his head. I didn't give up because there's always hope that they'll snap out of it.
Give your teen the boost they need to graduate. Call 1-877-4A-KID or join us at boostup.org for tips and advice.
Tonight on The Final Score, presented by DirecTV, the Red Wings look to secure a date with Lord Stanley by closing out the Penguins. It's Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Baseball's best team, the Cubs, try to make it 8 in a row. They visit the Padres in San Diego. And Ken Griffey Jr. takes another hack at career home run 600, while Jay Bruce looks to build on a red-hot start. For all today's highlights in 30 minutes, it's The Final Score.
Well, after the final pitch, stay tuned for Tigers Live with exclusive post-game reaction from manager Jim Leyland. A look back at all the highlights and a preview of upcoming action. Tigers Live presented by your local Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep dealers immediately after the game here on FSN Detroit. Well, let's see if the Tigers can figure out Mr. Rich Harden here in the 6th. They've got the top of the lineup due up. It'll be Granderson, Polanco, and then Guillen. Harden just cruising along. He walked a couple in the 5th, but pitched out of that trouble. And he's at 78 right now. Good ratio. Missed outside again to Granderson. Curtis 0 for 2. Swing and a miss. Two balls and 2 strikes. It's fouled back out of play. Curtis has 6 home runs this year. Hit a lot of those right when he came off the disabled list. Pulls that one foul. Anderson's last home run was May 20th against Seattle. That was on the last homestand for Detroit. Tigers down by just the run as we play in the 6th. Just off the plate outside, 95 miles an hour from Harden. 3-2. In the air, high to right field, deep to right field. Buck is back, and we are tied. Curtis Granderson hits number 7. It's a 1-1 game. Boy, that'll give the Tigers a lift.
Well, you talked about grinding out at bats. That's exactly what Granderson did. He finally got one of those split-fingered fastballs that kind of ran right into his barrel, and he flipped it out of here. Tremendous power, strong legs, quick hands.
Tigers get their first run of the game on just their 2nd hit of the game.
He hit that ball a ton.
It's his 18th RBI as well. Here's Placido Polanco. Pops him up. Shallow right field for Mark Ellis to the grass to make the catch. Watch where this thing landed. Way up there. He's climbing the stairs.
Granderson is nice on both sides of the ball. He's been a human highlight film on this road trip with all the plays he's made defensively and not alone getting on base. We talked about him in our open today, being the catalyst of this ball club.
Here is Guillen. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of fly balls. 1 in the 1st inning and 1 in the 4th.
What did you say the Tigers were when Granderson scores a run?
11-3. We'll see how that figure comes into play tonight. He has the Tigers' only run. That's one thing about those pitchers that have that excellent split finger pitch. If they do make a mistake and leave one up, a hitter like Granderson can do some damage.
Oh, I get it. He got some tips from Clay Rapata.
Oh. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
It's Santiago. There's a strike call.
Yeah, but you're right. For the most part, every last one of those split-fingered fastballs that he has thrown in this game, or his changeup, whatever they're calling it, they've been down in the strike zone. A lot of strikeouts, but that one stayed up.
That's drilled down the right field line. That's going to be a fair ball and go up against the wall. Guillen's going to have to hustle if he wants to. And he is in there sliding with a two-base hit. And now the Tigers have the go-ahead run in scoring position. They are finally starting to get to Rich Harden.
He can hit. His pitch count is starting to get up there a little bit. They may knock him out of this game sooner or later. This is a fastball inside, and to hit that fastball right there, you've got to do a lot of things right. You have to have great balance, as he has. He gets the front foot down, firm front side, and just drops the bat barrel into the hitting zone. And you got to get on your horse, too, because Buck, for the most part, can throw on most nights.
So here's Ordonez with a chance to give the Tigers the lead. Carlos now has 16 doubles. Ball one as it's smothered by Suzuki. Give the Tigers 3 hits.
And they play Maglio the opposite way as far as the center fielder is concerned. You see where the center fielder is located. Maglio's got some room in that area. Should he turn on something?
Ordonez with 37 RBIs this year. That's a team high for Detroit.
If you're Carlos and you're on second base, you got to think about stealing third. You really do. I mean, they're kind of spread out as far as Ellis and also Crosby. They're giving you a lot of room. Carlos has some speed, and in a game like this, where runs are at a premium, you got to at least think about it.
Better make it, though, with this guy on base already in scoring position.
Well, it don't matter. I mean, you got to try to do something to win the game.
And to your point, Suzuki is at 26% in throwing out runners this year.
I mean, that's how you win close ball games. Yes, it is a gamble.
Two and two on Ordonez. Looks like we might get some activity going in the bullpen for the Athletics. Harden has been in cruise control mode for most of the night.
Keith Folk, former closer.
He will pick up a baseball. He's the closer on that Red Sox 04 championship team. Maglio fouls off another.
In the last couple of innings, the Tigers have done a nice job. We told you if Harden's on, it's going to be a very tough game, but you have to grind out at bats. He walked a couple that last inning. He walked Cabrera. He also walked Cleet Thomas, so the pitch count's starting to get up a little bit.
He had at one point retired 11 Tigers in a row before Cabrera led off the fifth with a walk. Harden then eventually walked Thomas with 2 outs, but the Tigers failed to score. The Granderson home run, though, to start things off here in the 6th has tied it up. Swing and a miss. Well, that's a big out for Harden as Maglio goes down for the 2nd time tonight on a strikeout. And give Harden 8 strikeouts.
Number 24, Miguel Cabrera.
So it's going to take a 2-out hit now from Cabrera. The strikeout high, by the way, for Harden in his career is 10. That was back in 03 against Tampa. He has 8 tonight. And Cabrera's not going to hit. You've got Larish waiting on deck.
Lloyd McClendon over there having a conversation right now with Larish, telling him exactly what he should anticipate and look for in this at-bat. But it's not often you see a right-handed hitter walked and to get to the left-hander, but Larish is a rookie, and the other guy standing in the batter's box has already done a lot of damage in his very young career.
Well, much like the Tigers went after the rookie by walking the guy ahead of Gonzalez earlier in the game. They're going to walk the guy ahead of Larish here and pitch to Jeff. He has struck out twice tonight against the right-hander Harden. 1 for 13 now for Larish to start his big league career. 2 men on, 2 men out, a run in.
Suzuki just went out in front of home plate and went over a series of signs just in case. And the Tigers are entertaining the thought of running here, which I doubt very seriously, where he's going to throw the baseball.
Line drive, left field, sinking, base hit. Here comes Guillen rounding third. They're going to send him home. The throw from Brown is not in time. They've got Cabrera hung up, but Jeff Larish has an RBI single to give the Tigers the lead.
Ball was scorched. An outstanding base running there by Cabrera. We'll talk about it when we come back.
So the Tigers on the 2-out hit by Larish take their first lead of the night and a sharp single to left.
Ball was sizzled.
2-1 Detroit.
Now it's time for the Coors Light Freeze, Cam. And Curtis Granderson got it going in this inning with a solo shot in the right field on a ball that ended up right down the middle. Perfect swing by Granderson. That was our Frost Brewed Coors Light Freeze, Cam.
Well, it didn't look like the Tigers were going to get anything going against Rich Harden tonight. Lo and behold, they get the home run from Granderson, 2-out hit from Jeff Larish, and the Tigers now have their first lead of the night, 2-1.
Larish got himself a 1-0 fastball, hit that ball to left field like he came off the bat of a right-handed hitter.
Mark Ellis leads it off. It'll be Ellis, Carlos Gonzalez, and Travis Buck in the home half of the 6th inning. Tigers now have 4 hits. 3 of them came in the top of this frame. 1-1 misses outside, barely. 2-1. Ellis had an RBI back in the first with a sacrifice fly. Off the plate again. Ellis has been much better on the road this year. 330 on the road and only 167 at home. Here's this one toward left field, but right there is Cleet Thomas.
Hey, let's take a look at this play one more time. Bob Guerin walked Cabrera to get to Larish, and a 1-0 fastball right down the middle, scorched to left field. And not bad base running here by Cabrera, who was on first. He ran because Emil Brown does have some arm strength. Emil Brown with 42 outfield assists in his career, already 4 this year.
So Cabrera gave himself up to make sure that Larish would get the RBI. And the Tigers scored the go-ahead run on that play. Gomez showing bunts. He's 0 for 2, strikeout and a ground out. Gomez was up there back in the 3rd inning with 2 men on. They had walked Ellis in front of him intentionally, and he grounded out in that at bat. That closed out the inning. So their rookie couldn't get it done, but Larish, the Tigers rookie, could.
As we said, as that was evolving, it's not often you see the right-hander walk to get to the left-hander, but with Larish struggling in the game already, having struck out twice. And Miguel Cabrera obviously has done some real nice things in pro ball already.
That's in the air to center for Curtis Granderson. 2 gone. Meanwhile, Kenny Rogers just continues to clip along.
This is a tough ballpark to hit home runs in. It's big. A lot of times it's cold and damp here. Ball really doesn't travel all that well here at night in this yard.
And when you look at the starting 9 the A's have in their lineup tonight. There really isn't a whole lot of power to speak of. Cust has 9, Brown has 5.
That's why they jumped at the opportunity to re-sign Frank Thomas after the Toronto Blue Jays let him go.
Travis Buck is 0 for 2. A couple of ground balls in his 2 at-bats tonight.
Mike Sweeney, also a longtime Kansas City Royal, and who was the captain of that ball club in Kansas City, also on this Oakland ball club, but both on the DL.
Right to the first baseman, Cabrera. Kenny covers. And a 1-2-3 inning for Rogers. It's a nice job after the Tigers got him 2. We'll go to the 7th. 2-1 Detroit. Back here in Oakland, the Tigers have a lead 2-1 as we go to the top of the 7th. And on the first pitch, Renteria pops it up.
Well, they got to continue to make Harden work out there now. You can't give him any easy outs. Although that was not Renteria's intent. You have to still grind out some at-bats like you're still tied or losing this game.
Well, Harden came in with 104 pitches into the 7th inning, and he's still out there.
Well, he's close to being done.
Cleet Thomas. Cleet getting a start tonight out in left for the Tigers. He apparently went around on that check swing. 106 in the pitch count area for Harden. Cleet was recalled on Friday in Seattle. Was hitting .242 with Toledo, but he had 5 homers, 20 RBIs, and he also stole 11 bases down at AAA this year. And you combine that with the 2 that he has up here, 13 steals this season. One of the reasons why I think the Tigers brought him back up. He gives you some things that maybe Matt Joyce didn't. Joyce has some good power. Cleet can run a little bit. Good defensive outfielder.
There was really no need to keep both Matt Joyce and also Jeff Larish on the roster. Both players pretty much the same. But as you mentioned, Cleet gives you a different element with the speed, ability to throw, and play defensively. And I don't think Jim is all that concerned whether he plays every day or not. He just feels like he's good for this club.
Three-two pitch.
Their at-bats have gotten a lot better against Harden the last couple of innings. Some guys have worked some counts, even though Maglio struck out before the walk of Cabrera and the base hit of Larish. Maglio had a really good at-bat, too. He saw 7-8 pitches.
In the air, right center field. Gonzalez and Buck converge. Buck for the out, 2 gone.
And speaking of Buck, he and Jeff Larish were teammates at Arizona State.
You talk about the terrific program they've had there. Dustin Pedroia is also a former Sun Devil.
Andre Ethier as well, and we'll see Andre Ethier in about 10 to 12 days at Comerica Park when the Dodgers come to town. Some good hitters in the Pac-10. We've seen a lot of them too. Ryan Garco, you mentioned Pedroia, Connor Jackson, lots of them.
Pudge Rodriguez has a ground ball and a strikeout. 8 strikeouts tonight for Harden, which is 1 short of his season high, 2 short of his career high. Tigers lead by a skinny run here in the 7th inning. 2 out, nobody on.
Now here's those Arizona State Sun Devils that are having some nice careers after playing at a real nice collegiate program.
On the ground, diving try by Hanahan. It's off his glove into short left. Pudge will pull in with a base hit. Does Crosby get to that ball if he lets it go, do you think?
He may have gotten to it, but I don't know if he throws Pudge Rodriguez out. There has to be some communication there. It's a great effort by Hanahan. Yeah, but I think Crosby may have gotten to it and looked like he was trying to get around it and surround it. But I don't think he would have gotten enough on his throw to throw Pudge out.
Yeah, it would have been too long of a throw, it looked like. Harden is out. Going to take him out of this ball game after the infield hit by Pudge Rodriguez. So he'll leave with a round of applause. Wallside windows pitching change. New pitcher coming on for Oakland.
Wallside has come up with our own economic stimulus package to save you money. Right now, buy new Wallside windows at up to 30% off, plus no interest for 4 years. This offer won't last. Energy efficient Wallside windows at up to 30% off, plus 4 years, no interest, no down payment required. Save on new windows, save on energy bills, and save your money. But you only have through Monday, June 9th. Call Wallside now. 1-800-521-7800.
FSN Detroit knows you love sports. That's why we're Detroit's #1 cable network. Whether it's on the field, off the glass,
here come the Pistons with a 3-point lead,
or in your face.
Satterberg, what a pretty play!
FSN Detroit is dedicated to delivering the wall-to-wall coverage you crave. From the first crack of the bat to the final buzzer. Count on Detroit's #1 cable network, FSN Detroit.
Well, the Tigers lead at 2-1. They're batting in the 7th inning with 2 outs and a man at first base. Curtis Granderson stepping in against the new pitcher Keith Folk. So they get Harden out of the game here in the 7th. Granderson homered in the 6th off of Harden. That led things off, and that tied the game. 1 for 3 tonight. It's fouled back out of play.
Pudge has a huge lead over at first base. I wonder if he's entertaining the thought of trying to steal here. Take a look at Folk's numbers. He used to be a closer, but now sort of setting up for Houston Street and here in Oakland. And Folk was a guy that had a real good changeup. He had a fastball and a good changeup.
Driven in the air to right center field, hit pretty well. It's going to stay in the park though. Buck goes to the edge of the warning track at 388 and hauls it in. So the Tigers are done. We'll go to the stretch. Still 2-1.
Step into the cage for Tigers baseball on FSN Detroit. Closing out their long West Coast road trip, Ian and the Tigers can't head home without an all-out battle with Crosby and the A's. Tigers Athletics series continues tomorrow on FSN Detroit.
Everyone likes to hunt for a bargain. So this Memorial Day, we've quietly placed specially marked Chevys on our lots. You might have to look hard to find them, but when you do, you'll get great deals on most 08s. Find the arrow, find the deal. But only for 10 days.
GM Employee Program participants get a low-mileage lease on select 08 Silverado half-tons in stock for $189 a month. Call for details. Log on now to ChevyDealer.com.
Wallside has come up with our own economic stimulus package to save you money. Right now, buy new Wallside windows at up to 30% off, plus no interest for 4 years. This offer won't last. Energy efficient Wallside windows at up to 30% off, plus 4 years, no interest, no down payment required. Save on new windows, save on energy bills, and save your money. But you only have through Monday, June 9th. Call Wallside now. 1-800-521-7800.
It's beautiful, silken, luxurious. It sits in your bathroom like a faceted jewel. It makes you happy, but it will never make you any younger. This is not as alluring. But use Neutrogena Anti-Wrinkle Intensive for just 4 weeks, and its clinically proven retinol formula will smooth even the deepest wrinkles. So choose. Beautiful in the jar or in the mirror. Neutrogena, recommended most by dermatologists.
Here's our Comerica game summary tonight as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Tigers up by a run. Granderson a solo homer in the 6th to tie it up. Larish put him ahead with an RBI hit, a 2-out hit. And Kenny Rogers, he's been very good tonight. 6 innings, only 1 run. Our Comerica game summary, and the veteran Rogers back out there. His pitch count's still in pretty good shape.
They got a real nice sound system here at McAfee Coliseum. It may be the best in all of baseball. They get it rocking in here in between innings.
Here is Derek Barton to lead it off. It'll be Barton, Suzuki, and Hanahan. Tigers holding on to a 2-1 lead. Barton 1 for 2, had a single back in the 2nd. Kenny tonight has had just one 1-2-3 inning if you don't count the 5th. He did face the minimum, but had to get a double play ball. High towering fly ball right field. Maglio going back to the track, to the wall, and we're tied. Derek Barton hits just his 3rd of the year, and it's a 2-2 game.
That ball was crushed. We told you, balls just don't fly here. This ballpark is very pitcher friendly. Barton jumped all over this fastball. He lifted and separated. Boy, oh boy. We got a ball game, folks.
18th RBI, 3rd home run of the season, a no doubt about it home run. In fact, neither of the home runs tonight have left any doubt. Here is Kurt Suzuki with nobody out. Strike 1 on Suzuki, who's 1 for 2. Tigers have some bullpen action. Bobby C. and Freddie Dulce. Chopper hit to the shortstop, Renteria.
Hey fans, see the Tigers tangle with the White Sox June 10th through 12th, Wednesday, June 11th, the 70s night with the first 7,500 fans receiving a Tigers retro 70s t-shirt. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
There's Hanahan. You gonna wear your tie-dye shirt that night?
No, I don't think I'll wear my tie-dye shirt that night, but I might bust out an afro wig or something.
I'm waiting to see that. You promise?
No. And back in my early days as a broadcaster, though, when we used to do 70s night, we would all put on 70s gear.
Platform shoes and all?
Not platforms, but we had it going. Big glasses, afros, tight pants. We got into it.
1-1 on Hanahan. Single and a run scored. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Rogers gave up the home run to Barton, which tied it up. Hanahan's one of those guys that fits into the work the pitcher mold here and take your walks in Oakland. He sees over 4.2 pitches per at bat, which is one of the top marks in the American League. Let's see if this one gets out of play. Guillen might have room. He runs out of room.
Don't hurt yourself, Carlito.
You got to wait here. Anything that looks like it's going to get back into the seats always has a chance.
Well, he had to go a long way to get there.
Two and two. Tigers trailed 1-0, led 2-1, and now it's tied at 2. Three balls, 2 strikes on Jack Hanahan.
And Kenny himself now closing in on the century mark as far as pitches thrown in this game.
And he lost it. Ball 4, 1-out walk. Third walk tonight given up by Rogers. He's had 1 intentional base on balls. 98, you're right, he's just about there. The most pitches Rogers has thrown this year was 107. That was his second start of the year, ironically. Threw 101 against New York. Only 2 times this year he has reached the century mark. Bobby Crosby is up there. Crosby 2 for 3, couple of doubles, which now gives him a league high 19. Tigers yesterday in Seattle were able to grind out a tight game late. Gonna have to do it again here tonight. Strike call.
And they beat a pretty good pitcher yesterday too, in J.J. Putz, the closer for Seattle.
That's something Leland was saying in terms of close games that they did a lot of back in 2006. They won a lot of 3-1, 2-1, 4-3 games. Hadn't done a lot of that early on this year.
Well, I think the 2 guys that are missing their bullpen had a lot to say about some of those close wins they got last year. Excuse me, in 06, Rodney and Zumaya.
1-1 on Bobby Crosby. Ground ball hit to the shortstop. Renteria fires to second one. Relay. That's a double play.
Clean. Clean.
And a big double play it is.
At Comerica Bank, we believe in you. We believe in your family. We believe in your potential. We believe in your business. We believe in your future. And we want to prove it. Come by a Comerica Banking Center and find out how we can help you grow your business, plan for your future, and keep your money working for you.
Everyone likes to hunt for a bargain. So this Memorial Day, we've quietly placed specially marked Chevys on our lots. You might have to look hard to find them, but when you do, you'll get great deals on most 08s. Find the arrow, find the deal. But only for 10 days.
GM Employee Program participants get a low-mileage lease on select 08 Trailblazers in stock for $189 a month. Call for details. Log on now to ChevyDealer.com.
After all these years of saying nothing but
Bell Tire.
Now you want to say more? I mean, I think it's been well established that only one place has all the big-name tire brands.
Bell Tire.
You said it, and only one place has true out-the-door pricing. Bell Tire. Yep, and now Bell Tire has convenient auto glass repair and replacement service at all of our locations. So what more can you say? Trust us, we'll make you happy you came in. That's a promise.
Bell Tire. The FSN Detroit Daily Wire puts local sports access right at your fingertips. Get insights on tonight's big game, headlines for local sports fans, and blogs from the team at FSN Detroit. Get the free daily email. Log on to foxsports.com, keyword Daily Wire.
Yeah, let's take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Kenny had 3 strikeouts in this game, and you're looking at him.
Another terrific outing for Kenny Rogers, giving his team an opportunity to win. Right now it is a 2-2 game as we go to the 8th. Placido Polanco leads it off and looks at a strike 0-1. Folk came on and got Granderson to fly out, the only batter he faced in the 9th after Harden went 6, or I should say in the 7th rather. Harden went 6 2/3.
Apparently in the outfield, the Oakland Athletics are playing no doubles depth with Polanco standing in the batter's box. Buck in right field, very deep, and that's where Polanco hits a lot of his balls. So if Polanco slices one into right field, I doubt Buck gonna have a chance to come in and catch it. Most guys crowd Polanco from that right field position.
Yeah, he might just drop one in.
That and the fact that he has just simply owned the athletic pitching in his career. Very good.
Keith Folk was out of the game a little bit. Did not pitch last year. Signed a contract with Cleveland, but retired prior to spring training. He last pitched in the big leagues with Boston in '06. His 11th season in the major leagues. Chopper back up the middle. Crosby on the move. They keep Polanco off the bases. 1 out in the 8th inning.
Number 9, Carlos Guillen.
Here is Carlos Guillen, who doubled and eventually scored what was the go-ahead run for the Tigers back in the 6th. He came around in a Larish 2-out single. Guillen flirting with that 300 mark. He's at 296.
He has simply been outstanding in a Tigers uniform from an offensive standpoint in the last 3+ years. 2-time All-Star.
Well, it's really been an odd season for him. He came out of spring training knowing he would be the starting first baseman, and that lasted about a month. Then they moved him to third, then to left. He is playing third tonight.
And through it all, he continues to rake.
High fly ball, right field, hit pretty well. Backing up is Buck to the wall to make the catch. Buck looked like he had it all the way, and Carlos fell just a shade short.
He might have hit that one just off the end of the bat. And he may have been out in front just a hair as the reason why he didn't hit it out of here. And Buck knows exactly where he is.
Here's Ordonez. Maglio, tough night tonight against Rich Harden, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
I said earlier that Buck has the kind of hairdo that you see a lot of kids from California with. And guys that grew up on the beach, guys that like to surf.
Here it is.
But he's from Washington. He lives in Chandler, Arizona now, but he is from Washington.
The uncombed look. One ball, one strike.
That hair's everywhere.
It is everywhere. It's given Maglios a run for his money.
Yeah, it is.
Maglio's a little bit longer, though. Meanwhile, Doug Teeter, not have to worry about that.
Not at all. That's beautiful.
Maglio's down. 1, 2, 3 for the Tigers. We love you, Doug.
Everyone likes to hunt for a bargain. So this Memorial Day, we've quietly placed specially marked Chevys on our lots. You might have to look hard to find them, but when you do, you'll get great deals on most 08s. Find the arrow, find the deal. But only for 10 days.
GM Employee Program participants get select 08 Cobalt LS models in stock starting at $12,238 after all offers. Log on now to ChevyDealer.com.
It's an all-new Amazing Sports Stories. The tale of the ball player who lifted the spirits of a blind boy. Sunday on FSN.
Before the race, behind the scenes, be in the middle of it all. NASCAR on speed. Are you ready to be there? See it, feel it, live it. 5 laps of racing to go. NASCAR on speed. Nobody covers NASCAR like NASCAR on speed. I want to see my ship on the jumbo street through the wild hot middle of the winning machine. Because we win and lose and there's no in between. Be there, be there, be there. NASCAR on speed. Be there.
Tigers Tigers 2 and Oakland 2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning at McAfee Coliseum. Kenny Rogers answers the bell as we go to the bottom of the 8th, and his numbers tonight have been very good. In his last 2 starts, he's given up 2 earned runs in 14 innings.
Dealing.
He'll have to go to work now, though, here in the 8th inning, facing Jack Cuss, the number 3 hitter.
The gambler has been dealing.
Ball 1 inside to Cuss. They'll be followed by Brown and then Ellis.
And you got to be careful with Cuss. He's got terrific power. 9 home runs this year. And for the number 3 hitter.
Walk, ground ball, and a strikeout tonight against Rogers for Cuss. Kenny has been helped out by a couple of double play balls tonight. They have come in handy. He got 1 in the 5th and 1 in the 7th.
And Tigers need to win this game to stay close in the Central. And Cleveland won their ball game over Texas. And Minnesota also beat the Yankees tonight.
C still throwing, the left-hander. So is Freddie Dulce, the right-hander. They've been throwing the last inning or so.
I don't know exactly what Jim Leland is thinking here. But even if he gets cussed out, he may bring in Dulce to go after Emil Brown, who's the on-deck hitter.
Yeah, we mentioned a little bit earlier, really, the 2 guys, and I guess you can throw Ellis in here, the 2 guys that have power, Cust and Brown at 3 and 4 in their lineup. Well, it takes 1 long ball here. Kenny misses again. Three balls, 2 strikes. There's Brown waiting on deck. And the 3-2. He lost it. Leadoff man is on. 4th walk for Rogers.
And what is Comcast telling us about Kenny and his speed ranges tonight? 90 with the fastball, 72 with the change, and everything in between. And apparently his night is over as well.
Well, as you talked about, you've got Brown and Ellis, guys that have a little bit of power, and so the youngster Dulce will be heading out of the bullpen. And Kenny Rogers did a terrific job tonight. But the runner at first base is his responsibility. Well, in case you missed it, here's how the Tigers, down by a run, were able to take the lead. Curtis Granderson led off the 6th inning with a long home run off Rich Harden to make it 1-1. 1 out later, Carlos Guillen took Harden down the right field line for a double. After a strikeout of Ordonez, they decided to walk Cabrera intentionally to put 2 on so they could face the rookie Larish, and he comes through. A sharp single to left field, scoring Guillen. That made it 2-1 in favor of Detroit.
Larish had a conversation with Lloyd McClendon as Cabrera was being walked intentionally. And Larish had already punched out a couple of times in this ball game against Harden, who was spectacular in the ball game with 8 strikeouts. But that swing he took there, Mario, the base hit to left field was a lot shorter, a lot quicker, a lot more compact.
Yeah, and a lot more effective, that's for certain. And that gave the Tigers a lead, but the home run by Barton in the 7th inning tied it up. And that's where we stand right now here in the 8th. Well, the Red Wings are currently accepting season ticket deposits for 08-09. This is your opportunity to reserve the best available seats while locking in this past season's rates. To place your deposit or for more information, call 313-396-7575 during normal business hours or visit DetroitRedWings.com. Well, 107 pitches into his start tonight. Kenny Rogers is out of the game. The man at first is his property. And Freddie Dulce will take over.
Freddie's got some nice numbers up and down. Earned run average, strikeouts, opponent's batting average. He's only given up the one home run. That was the first pitch that he threw in the big leagues to Manny Ramirez.
Rajai Davis is the pinch runner at first base, so Cust is out of the game.
He can run. And you really don't put a guy in the game this late if you're Bob Guerin, if you're not going to let him steal.
Emil Brown is 0 for 2. Knocked into a double play in his last at bat in the 5th inning.
But he will be trying to steal if going against probably, arguably, the best throwing catcher of all time.
96 miles an hour from Dulce.
Where does he get it from?
I don't know.
6 feet 160 with some easy gas.
Davis 5 for 6 in stolen base opportunities.
Even though Dulce really not all that quick at getting the ball toward home plate, as far as the leg kick is concerned, I should say. But when you throw 96, that kind of makes up for you being a little slower with your delivery.
There goes the runner. Big jump, too, and it's grounded foul.
Well, he didn't put him in the game to stand there. I don't know what he's looking back for. He's trying to steal that base. You're looking back. That'll slow you down.
Dulce, meanwhile, has retired all 9 batters he's faced for his last 3 innings. Davis, a definite threat to run, has already been on the move. And Freddie Dulce has really grabbed his opportunity. And after a shaky start, talking about the home run he gave up to Manny Ramirez on the first pitch in the big leagues. But this guy has showed a terrific live arm. Closer in the minor leagues.
Pitch out one time. Why not?
Let's see what happens here. Is he going? Nope. Good pickup by Pudge. 2-2. Cust walked to lead off the inning. Davis is pinch running. He's the go-ahead run. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Seta along with C.
I was hanging out around the batting cage today talking to my good buddy Ty Van Berkeley, who's the hitting coach here in Oakland, and Davis came up and introduced himself. Nice young man. Didn't know me from the man in the moon.
Here's the 2-2. A bouncing ball hits slowly toward the shortstop. Renteria flips to second. That's all they'll get.
Too slow to turn 2. Yeah, but they got the speedy base runner off the bases.
So that's a good exchange. Emil Brown at first base. Davis is out of there, and Cust is out of the game as well. So see if that ends up helping the Tigers. Here is Mark Ellis.
Can't forget about Brown over there either, although not nearly as fast as Davis. And Brown is one of those kind of situational type base stealers. If you forget about him, he'll run.
Dulce using that move that I haven't seen any other team and their pitchers use, where he just steps off and holds the ball up in the air. We've seen a lot of Tigers pitchers do that. Bonderman does it quite a bit. I don't see too many other guys wearing different uniforms that utilize that move.
And maybe that's something that comes from Chuck Hernandez.
The one time he used it against Davis, had he thrown to first base, they might have got him leading. Another good pickup by Pudge. Again, has to dig it out of the dirt. 2-0.
Well, you don't want to throw one right down the middle here. We told you that Brown does have some speed. And if you're Bob Guerin and you're willing to gamble, and most managers are willing to gamble late in games, and this is not a bad time to put on a hit and run. But it is not really part of Oakland's game.
High drive, base hit left field. Brown will go to second, and Mark Ellis has a hit. 2 on with 1 out.
This is what you can do when you get yourself in a predictable fastball count. 2 balls and no strikes. Very quiet approach. Gets the bat head out in front. He hit that ball to hard, awfully to left, awfully hard.
Well, here is Carlos Gonzalez. Gonzalez in his 3 at-bats against Rogers was 0 for 3. And here comes Jim Leyland. Looks like Dulce is coming out of this game. Bobby C. will come in to face Gonzalez. So a pitching change for Detroit. We'll be back in a 2-2 game. To you by Chevy. See your local Chevy dealer today or visit Chevy.com. Comerica, we listen, we understand, we make it work. And by Comcast, watch TV the way it was meant to be in true high def from Comcast. A gorgeous night here in the Bay Area tonight. The Tigers and the Athletics hooked up in a good one. How about this crew out there in
Are they getting busy?
left field?
Jamming. 510, that's the area code here in the Bay Area.
I assume.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Here's Bobby C. He is in now to face the left-handed batting Gonzalez. Oh for 3 for Gonzalez. 2 men on, 1 man out. And the hook misses high and inside, 1-0.
Bobby didn't want to hang that breaking ball. You want to make sure you get it away from Gonzalez. And Kenny Rogers was able to get him to swing at quite a few good breaking balls that were located well down and away from him.
There's a strike. Even it up now at 1-1. Leadoff walk to Cust. Davis came on a pinch run. Brown erased him on a fielder's choice, and then Ellis singled sharply to left. Kenny Rogers just watching the action right now. After 7+ tonight. Bouncing ball hit slowly towards second base. Polanco quickly to second one. No relay. Again, not hit hard enough for the double play. 2 gone. Travis Buck strolling in.
Right fielder, number 6, Travis Buck.
One more out for C to get, but the go-ahead run is just 90 feet away. And if the A's were to get a run here, they have Houston Street warming up in their bullpen. Ball 1 outside. Here is Houston Street with his 12 saves.
Tigers hitters ain't afraid of Houston Street. They've hit him pretty good in the past. I
know Maglio's not. 2-0.
When they right, I'm talking about Tigers hitters. And they have been on occasion this year. They're not really afraid of anybody.
Magville hit that home run off streak back in 06 to propel them to the World Series.
They scored 2 runs off Rich Harden tonight. He looked like he had no-hit stuff for a while.
Well, it's 3-0.
And be careful here. He might have the green lights. You don't want to just throw a fastball right down the middle.
Was hitting .337 in 24 games at Sacramento. He was called up on Friday.
They kept him down there for a while, didn't they?
They did. There's Barton waiting on deck. He is homered in this game. And there is ball 4 to load the bases. So 2 walks and a single in this inning. They are loaded up. Jim Leyland is pacing back and forth and back and forth. Conversation continues on the hill. Meanwhile, Derek Barton is waiting patiently, and he homered his last at bat.
I don't think I've ever seen Derek spelled the way that he spells his name.
I haven't either. Two hits tonight, including the home run. He's facing another lefty here, and C missed inside.
Well, some of your effectiveness is taken away from you when you're going lefty on lefty when you fall behind. And one of the advantages of this situation, if you're Bobby C, is getting ahead and then expanding the strike zone.
2-0. Well, it was Bobby C that walked in the winning run in L.A. back on the 26th in the 12th inning. And you can see the look on Leyland's face. Not real happy right now. 2-0 on Derek Barton. 3-0 on Barton. With absolutely no place to put him. They're on their feet. One pitch away from taking the lead. There's a strike right at the knees. He was taking all the way.
I guess the $1 million question is, does Barton take another one?
The answer coming up momentarily.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's strike 2. Three and 2 with 2 outs. Runners will be moving here.
I wonder if he did that on his own, or if I wonder if that sign came from third base coach.
In the air, center field. Granderson is there, and the side retired. They will leave him loaded. We'll go to the 9th. Bobby C is pumped up. Well, it's a 2-2 game as we go to the 9th inning. 2 runs on 5 Tigers hits, 2 runs on 7 Oakland hits, and the Tigers dodged a huge bullet with the bases loaded. A 3-0 count. Bobby C comes back to get the out. The fly ball from Barton, and now Houston Street is on for the Athletics.
He's got some nice numbers this year. Take a look at the strikeouts, the walks ratio in the innings that he's pitched this year. 31 strikeouts in 25 in the 3rd inning. first ever meeting, Cabrera versus Street.
Cabrera, Larish, and Renteria.
I think Derek Barton may have did us a favor there, partner, taking that 3-1 fastball right down the middle.
Well, it certainly worked out well, didn't it?
I mean, if there was ever a pitch where you knew you were going to get a fastball, it had to be right there. But I guess the flip side of that is he knew he'd get another one, 3-2.
And he drove it in the air to center, but not nearly deep enough. The 0-2 is fouled away.
And Hanahan down at third base, really hugging the line, protecting against any doubles down the third base line. Outfielders playing very deep. And you see Hanahan. At least he was there.
He's still there. Trust us. 1-2 on Cabrera. There he is.
And he's hugging that line.
Meanwhile, Cabrera spoiling a couple to stay alive. It has been a tight one all night long. Tigers taking 2 out of 3 in Seattle, coming to Oakland here and hoping to gain a game on Chicago, who was idle tonight, or a half game I should say, with a victory. The 1-2 pitch. He got him that time. He chased. Cabrera strikes out for the second time tonight. 1 gone on the Tigers' 9.
And it's a pretty good slider there by Houston Street. Good location.
Here is Jeff Larish, who knocked in a run to give the Tigers their only lead of the night. That was back in the 6th, 2-1 at that point. High fly ball for the corner and left. Emil Brown is under. 2 gone. So Street dispatches of Larish on 1 pitch, and now Renteria.
Number 8, Edgar Renteria.
Renteria has faced Street just a couple of times in his career, 1 for 2 against him.
You know, Street kind of starts right in the middle of the rubber with his right foot, and then he kind of slides it over to the first base side of the rubber before delivering the ball toward home. It's not as much as Neshek was doing in Minnesota, but similar.
Good pitch, just missed. It was at 94.
Apparently he has his velocity back, which makes his secondary pitches that more effective.
Street stopped his motion there. You don't want to do that.
Almost hurt himself.
Renteria was given late time by home plate umpire Marty Foster. And Street wasn't even looking. Edgar 0 for 3 tonight. Street's biggest year was a couple of years ago in that 06 season when he saved 37.
And Street, unlike a lot of closers that end up closing in the major leagues, he was groomed as a closer in college at the University of Texas.
Did he go? Nope.
Apparently that slider is a nasty pitch today because Cabrera had a tough time with it, and Renteria almost goes here.
He lost him. Tigers have a runner with 2 outs, so walk. So the go-ahead run is on.
Number 36, Cleat Thomas.
And Bob Guerin there in the middle, next to Don Wakamatsu.
4 walks tonight for Oakland pitching, one of them intentional. Cleat Thomas 0 for 2 with the base on balls. And a ball high.
Renteria doesn't have a huge lead over there, but that was a pretty close play.
Houston Screen went to high school in Texas, Westlake High School, and then on to the University of Texas. Helped the Longhorns to consecutive World Series appearances. You probably know the story now about his father, James, who quarterbacked the University of Texas football team, the 1969 national champs. Missed outside. 2 balls, 1 strike on Cleat Thomas. Four years old, out of Austin, Texas. Todd Jones and Francisco Cruzetta. There goes the runner. The throw down to second. The tag. Got it. Renteria is cut down by Kurt Suzuki. And the Tigers are done here in the ninth. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth inning in Oakland. 2-2.
It's Tigers coverage you won't get anywhere else. Tigers live on FSN Detroit.
Hit well. Game in this series against the Athletics. Coverage begins at 9:30 with Tigers live pregame presented by Carrabba's Italian Grill. Tigers and A's tomorrow night on FSN Detroit. Going on tomorrow evening here? Well, we have Dontrell Willis making the start for the Tigers, and Dana Evelyn will go for Oakland.
Looking forward to watching Dontrell pitch here tomorrow in Oakland, his hometown. I met his mom last night. Very nice lady. She was at the hotel. Of course, when you come home, you're always surrounded by lots of family and friends.
Leland reminding his third baseman, Guillen, to watch for the punt. Suzuki leading it off against Francisco Cruzetta.
And Suzuki tried to bunt once earlier in this game, or at least he showed bunt against Rogers. And very important for Cruzetta to throw strikes.
First pitch is in there. Strike 1 at 95 miles an hour. Suzuki 1 for 3. Tigers trying to get this thing to the 10th inning.
Now we've seen some pitchers in this game tonight that have some real good strikeout pitches. Of course, Rich Harden struck out 8, who started for Oakland. Street has a really nice breaking ball as an out pitch, and so does Cruzetta. He has that split-fingered fastball that he grips every time he stands on the mound, and he may change it, and he does change it when he puts it in his glove, but he shows you the splitter when putting it in there.
Ground ball, base hit into left field, and the winning run is on for the Athletics. It'll bring up Jack Hanahan, the former Tiger, and last September here had a game winner against his former team. He's back on September the 2nd, little flare. It landed just fair, and Hanahan was mobbed after the win. More like beaten up. Jim Leland out to the mound. Two is our score here in the bottom of the ninth inning, and a welcome to those of you that may have been watching the Detroit Red Wings trying to wrap up the Stanley Cup. Not going to happen tonight as the Penguins live to see another day. Here it's been nip and tuck all night long. 2-2 is our score. And Jack Hanahan will step in now.
And Hanahan does not have a sacrifice bunt this year. As a team, Oakland only has 9, so it's not really part of their game, even though Carlos is playing in an area where he thinks Hanahan may be bunting.
He showed it. Been on base twice tonight. Single walk and a run scored. Here's a bunt. The center will throw him out, and the winning run now is in scoring position. So Hanahan sacrifices.
Nice job. You really have not been called upon to do it all season long. You've got 160 at bats, and he does it to perfection. He bends his knees. He gets the ball out in front. He deadens it. That is just picture perfect by Hanahan.
Now Bobby Crosby has a chance to win it with a base hit. Only one out.
We'll keep the ball at the bottom of the strike zone against Crosby. He's doubled twice in this game on elevated fastball.
Wave and a miss. 0-1 on Crosby, who has 2 doubles, a double play, and a ground out.
More often than not, when there's a runner in scoring position, most pitchers, unless they've got blazing fastballs, they always go to their secondary pitches, the slider, the curveball, the splitter in this case for Crusetta.
Almost hit him. Crosby able to eke out of the way. Strike. In the air to the gap in right center. This one is trouble. It's down. It's going to go to the wall, and Oakland will win the game. Bobby Crosby to the gap in right center field, scoring Suzuki. And the A's score in the bottom of the ninth to beat the Tigers. On a night where the Tigers had a chance to beat Rich Harden after taking the lead against him, the A's come back to tie it up and then win it in the bottom of the ninth inning. 3rd career walk-off hit for Bobby Crosby. His 3rd hit of the night is the biggest. And the A's beat the Tigers in Game 1. We'll be back to wrap things up from Oakland. Final score tonight, 3-2.